Welcome to the Aspire.
Too often now, going into a video game, we have a pretty good understanding of what to expect in terms of tone and gameplay. Granted, with the station being billed as a narrative adventure, the gameplay was pretty apparent, but the tone was not. And it was this not knowing when stepping onto the Aspire station for the first time that really got my blood pumping. The dimly lit entrance lounge and the harrowing moans of the space station made me ask the question, what kind of game is this? A question I haven't asked since stepping into the Greenbriar's house back in Fulbright Gone Home. Couple this tense atmosphere with an excellent narrative and brilliant sound design, and the station takes you on a thought-provoking and memorable sci-fi journey. Straight off the bat, I want to mention that this game is short, very short. My first playthrough took just under an hour and a half, but I didn't unlock every secret that the station had to offer. Playing the game again and unlocking these secrets offers around another hour of gameplay, but please don't see the short playtime as a negative. If anything, it actually complements the pace the narrative is being delivered. With the short playtime out the way, let's dive into the actual game. The story sees you playing as a recon specialist who has been sent to investigate the radio silence of the Aspire space station. What makes this station more unique is its mission purpose. After the discovery of a sentient alien civilization, the Aspire space station was sent to observe their behaviour, in the hope that maybe one day an alliance could be formed. Due to the unknown behaviour of the newly discovered life forms, the Aspire station is conducting all of its research while invisible to the alien planet, which is why the loss of power and radio silence is even more important. With no power, there is no stealth drive. The context of this story is perfectly set up for you in a short sequence before arriving at the station. The game does a brilliant job of instantly playing into the hands of the unknown. You don't know if there's going to be alien life aboard the Aspire. You don't even know what's actually happened to the crew. All of this not knowing only adds to the eerie atmosphere of the station. Sudden flickers of light will make you question if you're alone, and dramatic shakes of the station will make you question just how safe this place really is. The atmospheric environment of the station isn't simply there just for you to move through, it's actually an integral part of the narrative. As you progress deeper into the haunting halls of the station, you'll come across several audio logs in the form of glowing blue balls. These logs act as the main fuel for the overarching narrative and often consist of conversations between different crew members. Although progressing through at a fast pace and listening to log after log will give you an understanding of the game's main narrative, you'll actually be missing out on some of the best bits the station has to offer. Much like Fulbright's other title, Tacoma, the station does a brilliant job with its environmental storytelling, taking me back to my point that the well-designed environments aren't there just to create an atmosphere. A more obvious example of this is by gaining entry to different crew members' quarters, you'll get a sense of who they really are. Aiden, the engineer's room, was an organised mess of dismantled robots, whereas Mila, the captain's room, was grand and very well kept. By searching through each member's emails and personal belongings, you'll gain even more insight into their lives both on and off the Aspire space station. Now, I appreciate that this approach to some of the narrative and searching through emails isn't everyone's idea of fun, but if you are an inquisitive gamer, then I can safely say that you will be rewarded for being nosy. During your time on the station, you'll encounter several puzzles, some of which are completely optional but offer more narrative insight. Others you'll have to complete in order to progress to a new section of the station. What I really like about these puzzles is the fact that they fit in so well with the actual story. The first one you'll come across requires you to rebuild a security robot, but to do so you'll need to organically interact with your surroundings and actually take note of what you're seeing. The lack of difficulty in these puzzles never felt misplaced, meaning that they don't ever feel like a huge hurdle to overcome, instead just a reason to explore more of the intriguing space station. The station does a brilliant job of building a tense and eerie atmosphere, most notably through its sound design. It's this atmosphere that really helps fuel along the game's narrative, whether that be through the discovery of a crew member's personal struggles or the delivery of the well-acted audio logs. Exploring the intricacies of the Aspire space station was a sheer delight and provided me with a story that I'll remember for a long time to come, despite the game's short playthrough. The station is a perfect example of how to tell a captivating and linear sci-fi story. For more indie game content, then why not check out our recent preview of downhill mountain biking game Descenders, or check out tower defense co-op game recently released on the Switch, Aegis Defenders. And to keep up to date with all things indie games, make sure you subscribe and check out indie-credible.com.